everybody, this is Erica with Good Game Media, and today we're going to be reviewing Naked Snake, aka Big Boss, from the Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker Play Arts Kai line. And first impressions of Snake is it looks like Snake, aka Big Boss, literally just jumped out of the screen and got turned into an action figure. I mean, he looks awesome. I mean, I don't know how else to describe how he looks. I mean, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you know, instantly you'll recognize who this guy is. Immediate overall detail and articulation is pretty sweet. I mean, great articulation through his legs, his body is beautifully articulated. And even the way that they worked in the articulation with his sneaking suit is pretty incredible. You don't have any really ugly joints that are just sticking out and deterring from this figure. I mean, beautiful detail all through everything. I mean, if you take a look at his supply pouch and even his canteen here, I mean, it's incredible. And these straps here, even initially when I first looked at this in the store in the packaging, I thought that was actual like nylon webbing. It's not. It's just really nicely sculpted, simple plastic. It's really amazing. Nice riot shield. You know, just the fine details, the lacing in the side of the sneaking suit. Nice details in the wrinkling of the fabrics. I mean, they just did a really nice job with Naked Snake. As with my other videos, I'm going to be covering articulation, and any quality control issues, and I'm actually going to be doing a size comparison with the Halo Reach Play Arts Kai figure. I'm going to be comparing him with Noble 6, just so you guys, if you're familiar with the other figures in the Play Arts line, can actually just get a sense of scale. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stand up Mr. Snake here, and we're going to go over articulation with him. So, like I noted before, the overall articulation on this figure is pretty nice. Some differences in at least the Reach figures. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start covering those. I'm going to start from the bottom and work our way up. First off with Snake, the thing that you'll notice immediately if you do have any of the other figures is his ankle joint is actually not on a swivel. It's actually just a, I'm not entirely familiar with the terminology, but it's just a basic peg which allows forward and back flexion, which isn't not necessarily a bad thing. The one thing that it did to, I think, alleviate the lack of the ankle swivel is his foot here. This is actually on a swivel joint, which I have seen on other figures, but it doesn't really bother me, because, you know, if you wanted to have him in more of a dynamic pose or his foot can't really be like that, you have the option to turn the foot to give him a better base to stand on. So I think that was a nice compensation as far as that goes. Working up to his knee, another nice 2-point articulation in the knee, so you can get really nice squatting motions or Snake frolicking, which Snake does not frolic. But in case you wanted him to frolic, he has the option to do that. Oh, there he goes, my playing around. I pulled out his strap there. That's more my bad. That's really not a fault on the part of Square Enix. The one nice thing that I was really impressed with on his leg, when you get up to his thigh joint, they actually have a nice swivel here for his thigh, and it's actually nicely hidden underneath the strap for his thigh holster, which I think is pretty nice. And it's not a big ugly joint. It's just a nice touch. That's, you know, it's nice. It's appreciated. I'll move up to his hip articulation here. This is also on a ball joint. With him, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do the actual test I did with my Reach figures. I'm gonna try to pop this leg off, and you know what? I don't know if it wants to come off. I'm just gonna leave it alone, because if I can't get this leg back on, I'm gonna be sick. So I'm just gonna leave the leg on, but he has a really nice ball joint with his leg that allows really nice circular movement on the overall leg. The one thing that did make me nervous about taking this off is, you see here, he has the straps that go between his legs, and they're not necessarily a bad thing. It's just sometimes they can interfere with some poses, and if you saw right there, I was kind of nervous about actually trying to pop the leg off. Even back here, those look like they would just get caught in between his legs, and I'd probably just have a hard time putting his leg back on. But if you do end up getting Snake, feel free to do that test. I'm just too much of a chicken to do it. Really nice articulation on his upper hips. I mean, nice swivel action there. The belts get in the way a little bit, which, you know, isn't bad, but it's just something, you know, they will slide up and down a bit. Oh, the one thing I forgot to point out is, again, similar to the Reach figures, his butt. Yeah, massaging Snake's butt. His rear end and actual crotch are, again, like a nice high quality rubber. So this actually aids in posability with him, so you're not going to really be catching on any kind of hard plastic. Okay, so we'll go back up again. Hips are great. Really nice torso movement again on him, nicely integrated with his sneaking suit armor, so you get, you know, just nice range of movement there. I'm actually gonna go up to his arm now. I'm actually gonna take his gun off here. Now the gun I'll cover later, but it's neat. You can actually take the silencer off. I just think it's a nice little touch, you know, little but cool. Snake does come with 2 interchangeable hands, the standard fists, and the trigger hands, or gun hands, whatever you prefer to call them. The difference between these and the actual Reach figures is Snake's hand actually comes on, it's a ball joint instead of just being a peg. So these more or less kind of, they both pop on, but these I found to be easier to put on as far as getting the line up. Now, the only thing with Snake is the wrist on this is a little bit loose, so I'm actually not going to be taking the hand off because it actually is a little bit of a pain in the butt to get it back on, because the peg just has a tendency to go like this, and you're trying to put an extra hand on there, and the peg keeps flopping down. The whole breakage thing freaks me out, so I won't be doing that on this review. There's no actual, his forearm doesn't really do much, as far as I can tell. There's no, like, radial flexion on it, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, you still, you know, you have the movement in the wrist, so that to me makes up for it. Another floating elbow joint, similar to the Reach figure, so I think it's just a cool little touch. Now, instead of the wrist movement, they did put some swivel joints up here on the bicep, which is nice. It's simple and it's cool. And we're actually going to get up to where the deltoid joint is. The difference in this, and again with the Reach figures, is the scapula joint does not actually come out and forward like on the Reach figures, so getting an across the body pose is a little difficult to do. It's not, you know, it's not a deal breaker, it's just a little bit harder to get him to strike a pose. Like if you want both hands together holding a gun, it's a little hard to do with this figure. As far as accessories go with Snake, I mean, he didn't come with a whole lot, but, you know, as far as Snake goes, I mean, he's Big Boss. He's, you know, his call sign is Naked Snake, which means he goes in, you know, naked without any weapons. No, he has clothes on. They just call him Naked Snake because, like, he could kill somebody with one of those twist tats that goes on bread. But, you know, and that's how they accessorize him. He comes with the riot shield and his silenced pistol, which you can just pop off the silencer. It's a neat little touch, you know. It's not like, oh my god, silencer comes off the gun. I just thought it was a cool touch. He actually did come with an additional gun without the silencer that you can put right here in his thigh holster. So it's pretty cool, and the thigh holster actually does close. Let's see if I can get this in here. Not really. Whoopsie. But yeah, I mean, simple and nice. I mean, they didn't go crazy with the weapons, which is okay. Oops. That's one note on Snake. Probably the one thing that's a little bit annoying with him is he does not stand up so well. I mean, you have to kind of fiddle with him a little bit to get a good stable pose. I think it's just because his feet are not as wide as some of the other figures. So that's one thing to be mindful of. If you're going to put him on a computer desk, and if you're doing any kind of drawing, painting, or modeling, and your desk shakes a lot, he's going to fall. Let's see if we can do an earthquake test here. Yeah, so that was like a minor earthquake test. So Snake will take a little tumble if you put him on any kind of a shaky surface. So just be mindful of that if he's going to be hanging out on your desk. So I'm just going to compare sizes real quick with another figure from the Play Arts line. Just going to take a look. Arr, Snake. I guess Snake didn't like that. Stop having a tantrum. Let's see. Don't make me baby talk you, Snake. There we go. Okay. So if you can see size-wise, Snake is a little bit taller than 6, and his legs are, you know, a little bit bent. I don't have him standing straight up and down. Let's see if I can get him to... Okay, let's see here. Alright, there we go. So he's a little bit taller now. So, if I remember my scale correctly, 6 is about, I think he's like 8.5 inches tall. And Monsieur Naked Snake is 9.5 inches tall. So it's about an inch difference. I mean, just so you guys can see scale in case you were wanting to get either the Reach figures or get Mr. Naked Snake here. But overall, you know, quality control issues on him, nothing major. I mean, I mentioned before that I was handling him in an awkward way and I accidentally, you know, undid the strap for his thigh holster, which I think goes up over this belt here. So that I'll have to adjust after the review, and trying to get this to get back in is not that hard. Again, I'm kind of bending over and putting my hands in this little little photo studio, which is pretty cool. It's just a little hard to maneuver in it sometimes, but overall, I mean, not a bad figure at all. Just different articulation than the Reach figures. A beautiful detail. Like, I just still can't get over that I'm looking... I mean, it looks exactly like Snake. I mean, it's incredible. It's such a, like, a great job. It's almost like you can see his different ethnic background. Like, he looks Japanese and he looks American, so it's pretty incredible. Yeah, Snake's a badass. So, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, I mean, this should be a no-brainer for you. This is probably the best Snake figure. So, Snake should run you anywhere between, like, $40 and $50, I think. Anything more than that, I think somebody's trying to gouge you. So, be mindful with the price. He is on the Square Enix site. The average delivery date with them, again, that says anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks. Not sure how closely they adhere to that, but just to make you aware, it's 3 to 4 weeks from the Square Enix site. Shipping from them, I believe, is about $10. Yeah, so if you're hot to trot to get him, check out your specialty stores or your anime stores. Comic book shops may have him. Square Enix, eBay, those are probably the best places to start looking. Again, this has been Erica with Good Game Media, covering the Square Enix Play Arts Kai version of Naked Snake, aka Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on the PSP. As always, thank you very much for watching our videos, and if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. We do our best to have new reviews up for you every week, and we're going to try to expand from figures. We're going to try covering gear, and maybe we'll start covering apparel. Just depends on where we go with it. Please check out goodgamemedia.com as we expand our site, redesign our site, and start covering conventions and other game news and game culture. Thanks, guys, and this is Erica from Good Game Media, and we'll see you again, and as always, good game, guys.